Alright, what's going on, guys? We're back on the mountain today with the RX8, you know, the typical stuff. But if you guys watched the last video, I actually mentioned an issue that I was having with the car where I was essentially losing power between 8 to 9,000 RPM. So essentially what would happen is on my way up to 9 from 8, it would just kind of fall on its face and go ba and lose power. Well, I think I figured out what the issue is, so let me show you guys the part that I replaced. So I still have it in the car because I haven't gotten to throwing it out, but let me just sit down here. So what this part is essentially is, well, this is the SSV solenoid or SSV valve. It's kind of a complicated part. On rotaries, it works alongside with some other system to essentially control how much air goes into the engine at various RPMs. Now, the actual function of this is a little bit more complicated than that, but I really don't want to get into all the technicalities here. But yeah, this is actually the SSV valve. Funny enough, this was actually the wrong part that I initially ordered. I thought I was ordering the VDI valve, which works very closely with the SSV. They work together to control how much air is going in the car and everything, right? But yeah, I bought this by accident, but got it replaced, and I think it fixed the issue anyway. So I think I got lucky there and ended up buying the right part after all. So, you know, I still have it here. You can really see how much grime and dirt is on this thing. Gotta be careful because this thing is actually really sharp. Ask me how I know. So yeah, that's essentially what this does. I haven't gotten the chance to throwing this out yet, so maybe I will just do that while I'm here. But yeah, essentially replace this, and I think the cars are doing better now. Haven't really had chance to really test it because all I've done is some city driving around the highway and, you know, got the car up to, you know, 9,000 in second gear trying to enter the freeway, right? So now we're on the mountain and we're really going to be able to test it here. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this fixed my issue, because if not, then I need to buy the VDI, and that's gonna be another couple $100. So hopefully we don't gotta do that. You know, I think we're safe to say we're not having that stutter issue anymore. Before, you know, right after 7 heading into 8 and 9, you would begin to hear it hesitate, and I'm not really hearing that at all. So I think changing out the VVI, I mean, not the, what am I saying? Changing out the SSV really made a big difference here. The reason why I thought it was the VDI was because the VDI usually controls the higher rev range, right? While the SSV controls the lower rev range, but they really work in unison. So I guess switching out the I keep saying the wrong thing, but switching out the SSV really made a big impact here because we're no longer having stuttering issues, which is great, and it allows us to really enjoy these. I lost my train of thought. It really allows us to enjoy these roads a lot more. It's always such a good time to take the car to these back roads. I really wish I lived closer, man. But then again, if I did, my wallet would really be hurting because of gas. Gas nowadays are so expensive. I think the other day, let me just shut up real quick and let you guys enjoy the rotary actually. All the way to 8.5 there, no stuttering whatsoever. The only thing that's hurting is my gas mileage. Oh man, dude, I'm this is the perfect weather right now too. Oh shit. That was a close call. All Alright, I don't know if you guys can see, but we actually have a G80 M3 behind us. So we're gonna see how fast or how long it takes to lose him here. I think he's gone. I think he's gone, guys. Yeah. Man, the car feels good though. Yeah, the car just feels so good. I think, again, my only complaint is these seats, man. Like, anytime I do any sort of spirited driving, I just feel like I'm being tossed around in here. And it's not very confident inspiring, even though the car feels good and it handles good. Just like moving back and forth like that in the seat, it's just not very nice. So I gotta do something about this, man. But aside from that, car is doing good. Just taking a look at the coolant temps here as well. I think we should be good though. Yeah, definitely no stuttering issue from the engine right now. So I think that SSV really did fix every day. This car, guys. Take it easy around these straights here. But yeah, I think the car is doing good. And right now it's pretty hot today. It's like almost 80 degrees right now. Coolant temp is right around 200. I apologize if I'm not talking much, but I'm really just enjoying the car right now. Can't wait to be back at the tail of the dragon doing this. And I really just have no complaints outside of these damn seats. I legit don't have any other words to say. This is just so much fun. I love this car, guys. I love this car, and I feel bad forever thinking about, like, you know, wanting to sell it every time I see like a nice RX-7 on sale on Marketplace. But dang, this thing brings me so much joy. Alright guys, following the G80 now. It's actually my cousin in front of me. He got a BMW M3 rental for his birthday present. Today's his birthday, so you know, we're just cruising around the mountains together. But yeah, it's a really nice car, I'm not gonna lie. I got to sit in it a little bit earlier. It's really nice and modern, and you know, it has all of the amenities that you could ask for in a modern car. And I'm not gonna lie, I wish I was into modern cars. Ooh, a lot of gravel. I wish I was into modern cars, because you know, I would love to have CarPlay, but I know I could install it in the RX-8, but I just don't think it looks right in this car. So that's why I haven't done it, but maybe I will, because I've been having some issues actually with the controls here. Like my heat and the temperature controls, it's been doing whatever the hell it wants, so I gotta switch that out. So maybe while I switch it out, I'll install like a head unit or something, but I don't know. I really do like how the OEM ones look, and I really am enjoying how the RX-8 is set up right now. I feel like I say this every single time, so I sound like a broken record, but this car, man, it is an absolute joy to drive. If you guys are like, you know, trying to get into the rotary, I know FC RX-7s are like the other entry points, right? And you still get an RX-7, but don't overlook the RX-8s, man. Don't overlook the RX-8s. Even if you're not like looking specifically for a rotary and you're just considering like a first car, these things are still pretty cheap. Like, while yes, there are a lot more high maintenance, or like, you know, you gotta do a lot more to keep these cars going, but I don't think it's really that hard. And I think my channel really, I like all the videos I put on my channel really goes to prove it, right? I know the last video when I drove the BRZ and I said like these are like bargain sports cars, I saw someone in the comments saying like the RX-8s are not bargain, like, you know, you'll deal with engine issues and all that. Like, there's some truth in that, but you know, if you do your work, you take care of the car, you do your maintenance, like, these cars will last. Like, I feel like I've been a pretty good example of that here on YouTube. That's really a strong reason of why I started doing this on YouTube as well, is to show people that you can really drive these cars often and not have to worry about it all that much. I mean, you do have to worry about it a little bit, but you know, they're not as crazy as everyone out on the internet makes it out to be. And when I was buying this car, those were the type of videos that I was really trying to find, and I was not able to find them, so here I am doing that. Yeah, it's nice. I really don't know how the car handles like the M3, if it handles these corner nice at all. I have to imagine it does though. This is fun. Alright guys, you made it to the end of the video, and as always, if you made it to the very end of the video, really appreciate you guys for taking the time out of your day to watch the content all the way through to the very end. It really means the world to me, so thank you guys so much for doing that. And yeah, the car runs good again. Really happy I ended up buying the right part by accident, because if I had to go out and, you know, buy the VDI again as well, that would have been an extra like couple $100. So I'm really happy I ended up buying the right part, because the SSV is actually kind of expensive. The only place I could find it still like brand new, like OEM Mazda part, was from like this dude in Japan, and he was selling it on eBay, so I had to pay like import taxes on that as well. It wasn't the cheapest thing ever, but it was worth it, because it actually came with like all the gaskets I needed and everything. So, you know, I got what I needed, and the car runs now, so I'm really happy about that. And I'm really just trying to get the car in tip-top shape, like reliability-wise and everything, because, you know, September is going to be right around the corner, because it's already in July. Like, we're about to be in mid-July, which is crazy, but yeah. September is going to be right around the corner, and I'm planning to take that road trip down to the tail of the dragon, so really trying to just get the car as good as possible. That's why I'm tackling all of the cooling issues, all of, like, you know, everything this year. And yeah, if you guys actually saw like a couple of videos ago as well, I forgot how many videos that was, but I tried to compression test the RX-8, and the compression tester ended up being faulty, so I had to so I was actually able to ship it back to the guy who makes them. I don't know his name, but you know, the guys at RCT, is that RCT? Yeah, rotary compression tester, and they were able to diagnose and fix it for me for like a fee. So I'm really happy about that. And then they shipped it back, and I actually just got it like last week. So I think sometime soon I'll try to compression test the car again, just to make sure everything is fine, which I think it will be. So looking forward to that trip, as long as nothing else happens, like as long as nothing crazy happens in the next couple, week, so you know, knock on wood, hopefully that doesn't happen, don't jinx it. But yeah, it was a lot of fun also driving with my cousin the other day. Huge shout out to Don. It was his birthday and his girlfriend got him that M3 comp as a rental for, you know, the weekend. It's really cool driving with him. He is like a pretty relatively newer, not new driver, but like, you know, new spirited drivers. Like he hasn't really driven on the Togeki's all that much, so you know, it was really all a joke when I was like, let's see how fast I can lose this M3. I knew it was going to be pretty easy because, you know, he's not too familiar with the roads, but you know, that car is fast though. Like he did a pull when I was in the back seat. There's a lot of torque, and I think it's probably one of the fastest cars you could buy like brand new today as well. So you know, I mean, I guess maybe not now that I'm thinking about it, because like there's so much cars with like, you know, electric assist, and the torques on that is crazy as well. But yeah, I think it was a really cool car. I'm still not a big fan of how like the grills look on the G80s. I mean, I mean, they look a lot better than what's coming soon for BMW. So you know, it is what it is. I don't think I'm too big of a fan of BMW in general. Like when growing up, my dad was actually a huge BMW guy, so I don't know why I'm not into them. They just don't, you know, I don't know, just don't rub me the right way, I guess. I mean, let me not say that. I do think they're cool, just not my cup of tea. I do like the E36 though. I think that's because my dad had one growing up. He had like an E36 M3. It was a silver car, so I think those are cool. But yeah, that's enough BMW ramble. I think if I do have to like pick a Euro, it'd probably be a Porsche. Like I think I really like the 718 Caymans, or just like Caymans in general. 911s, I think they're cool, but I don't think I would want to pay like, you know, that much money, like, you know, over 200 grand. Or I don't think they're actually that expensive, but for like the depends on the trim level. All right, I don't know why I'm going on a spiral here about Euro cars, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. So I'm trying to think if I had anything else I wanted to talk about at the end of this video, but nothing is coming to mind. So I think I'm gonna wrap up the video here. If I have any like other things to update, I'll tell you guys in the next video. Actually, I do remember something that I want to tell you guys, but I'm gonna save that for the next video, and you guys will see why, because it just makes more sense. It's revolving RX10, so I'll just say that. But yeah, I also didn't end up going to 7's Day in New York just because I was so tired. Like I work a regular 9 to 5, which is actually in my case is 9 to 6. So by the time it was done, I was in the city. I would have to go back home in Queens to like grab the car. Just too much, but didn't end up going. Do I regret it? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. But I did see a bunch of people get pulled over and arrested, so I don't know. I wouldn't have wanted that to happen. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap up the video here, guys. Thank you again for watching all the way to the very end. I really appreciate you guys for, you know, taking the time out of your day to do that. I know I say it at the end of every single video, but it really do mean a lot to me, so thank you guys so much. And yeah, until the next one, guys, remember to stay safe out there, because the world's a crazy place. You gotta do your part to stay safe, alright? Until the next one, keep on driving. Peace.